Hello everybody. I am back after a 2-month hiatus. A lot of things was going on, so had to get things straight, but I'm coming back and I'm feeling so much better, and I have missed all of you. And if you have noticed, yes, I did change my name of my channel to now The Pentacle Queen, so you're not being confused. I really did change my channel to The Pentacle Queen. All right, and like I said, I have missed you, and I hope that you have missed me as well. Okay, with all that being said, let's get to the good part. Today's reading is messages from your higher self, okay? And these readings are going to help give you some guidance, to see what does your higher self have to say to you right now. So before you have 3 groups. Group number one. Group number 2, and group number 3. Okay, now if you have to take your time, pause this reading, get some mental clarity, pause, meditate if you must. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move to group number 1. See you there. Hi, group number 1. This is your stone right here. It really doesn't have anything to do with the reading, but it's a great identifier. So group number 1, we're going to start with the messages, okay, for your higher self. And we're going to start with the Soul Helper Oracle deck, okay? And this is going to give you a direct message from your higher self, message or messages, and see, what does your higher self have to say to you right now. All right. And then we'll follow up with some tarot and some other oracle cards. So let's see. What does your higher self have to say? We have, listen to the eternal song of your soul. It says, tune in and learn to trust it. Okay? And let's get one more, group number 1, because this is number 33. So let's get one more. Oh, wow. And we have, oh, wow. Okay. These 3 came out. All right. We have live playfully and with a light heart. Listen to the voice of your inner child. All right. And then you have tear down the walls around your heart and give and receive security and warmth. Okay, group number 1. This is telling me right now that, and this is with me as well, inner work. Okay. I've been listening to some readings myself, and a lot of inner child working, and sometimes you have to heal your inner child, and everyone's like, well, what in the world, what does this mean by inner child working? It's one of those things that you might not always remember, everything that happened when you're little, good, bad, happy, sad. It's like kind of like when you're a child, that's like your happiest times in life, and sometimes a lot of things happen, you're not quite sure. And when it's saying, listen to the voice of your inner child, it's like that song, I think Michael made it. Have You Seen My Childhood? I don't know if that's the exact name of it, but I remember that was one of the lyrics to it. It's like one of those things that sometimes you have to go into, the times when things were simplistic, okay? And being little and young, things were simplistic. You didn't have the stressors of life that you have now with adulting, and it's like sometimes you might say it's not fun being an adult because you have so many issues and so many things that are going on. So that's why I'm saying listen to the voice of your inner child, that sometimes you have to just go in and say, okay, it's not as bad as it seems, and I got to keep going and persevering. So that's why I'm saying live playfully and with a light heart. Try not to make things be so heavy laden on your heart. That's why it says listen to the internal song of your soul and tune into it and learn to trust it. What that is saying is that intuition, like listening to your inner child, learn that when things are at its most moment, just listen to your soul, listen to that eternal song, and tune in and trust it, that everything will be okay. Like right here with the picture you see with the harp. If you ever listen to music from a harp, isn't it like relaxing and just soothing? And sometimes it'll put you to sleep, but in a good way. And like this, I know this may sound like critical, but if you see this little tombstone right here, I look at that as saying, okay, rest. Now, I know you may say, oh my gosh, that's eternal rest. But I look at it as saying that you get that peace and calm and eternity, and that's what you need, okay? And then we have tear down the walls around your heart and give and receive security and warmth. And all this is about is saying, group number one, is that we need, and myself included, because this could be a message for myself, you know, we, like I said, we're in this together. But tear down the walls around your heart. A lot of people have done things to, it could be you, you know, well, of course it is you, because you're listening to this reading, and you build up this building block, this wire fence around your heart, and you don't want to see heart and soul, and it messes with your heart, it messes with your soul, and it kind of just tears you down, that it's hard to build back up. But what I'm here to say to you, group number one, is we've got to tear down the walls, and that's what that inner child work is like. When I've been listening to other readings, and they said that's what helps with tearing down the walls in your heart, is with in your inner child, seeing the happiness of when you were a child. You know, if things weren't so happy when you were a child, try to find something, you know, that makes you happy about something. We got to do a lot of inner work, and a lot of times things from other readers say that it started from when you were a child. So, you know, like I said, I'm not giving the professional help because I'm not a psychiatrist, but, you know, we have to just dig deep. That's the best way I can say, myself included. We got to dig deep and keep going and tear down the walls around our heart, group number one. Okay, now group number one, I'm going to go with your message from your higher self. Let's go ahead and go with the Oracle of the Seven Energies, okay? And let's see what the Oracle of the Seven Energies have to say. And I'm not reading in reversals. Okay, so we're going to see what the Oracle of the Seven Energies have to say. Okay, we have Beyond the Ordinary, a Tall Tale, Seeing Beyond, and Opening to Discovery. All right, group number one. Like I said, with Beyond the Ordinary, if we look right here, this is all about, I see this as mental clarity and hugging yourself. A lot of times, this may sound crazy, but have you ever hugged yourself? Like literally, like I'm not kidding. It's an interesting thing sometimes if you're in your room or wherever you are, so whatever you're doing at the time, sometimes just give yourself a great big hug. If you don't have anyone to give you a hug, sometimes hugging yourself can just release. You see how this card right here is just showing that it's releasing like stars and, you know, just ambiance. Well, I say we're ambiance, but just like it's releasing. It's beyond the ordinary of what you can imagine. Just giving yourself a hug sometimes is a wonderful thing. Self-love, again, the same. Listening to your soul. It's like your soul is just like, you know what, I can love myself. That's what it says here. Tearing down the walls and giving, receiving security and warmth. If you're looking right here, group number one, when you hug yourself, you get that sense of warmth, okay? Now, a tall tale, right here. Now, I know this is Pinocchio. And we all know the story of Pinocchio. And he wanted to be, now we do know, you know, if he didn't tell the truth, his nose would grow, so on and so forth like that. Spoiler alert if you never listened to the story of Pinocchio. But a tall tale, don't look at this as a bad way. Sometimes we have to, and myself included, we can lie to ourselves. I know that's a strong word. I never liked that word, but we'll say fib. I like the word fib. We can fib to ourselves that everything is okay when we know deep down it's really not, but we try to put on this mask of, you know, what we are and who we want to be perceived as. And with that, that's when sometimes tearing down the walls around our heart and all these things like that. And it's saying that we don't have to do that because we're going to tear down these walls, okay? We want to be playful again. We want to have them go into our soul like we're supposed to. And if you look again here, we're releasing to see the stars and things as well, okay? Because we want to release and tear down the things that are bothering us, okay? Group number one. Now, seeing beyond. This is a wonderful card. Because some of you could be working into spiritual work now, as we see, you know. And this right here is when your third eye is opening, okay? Seeing beyond. Again, we have stars, okay? And with seeing beyond, okay, sorry about that, but with seeing beyond, this is telling me that you are going in higher depths, like I said, with tearing down the walls around your heart, okay? Live playfully with the light heart, be beyond the ordinary. You're seeing beyond what's in front of you. You're opening, you're tuning in to yourself. It says tune in and learn to trust it. So that's seeing beyond, that's opening up, okay? And then we have opening to discovery. Again, stars again. A key, unlocking, tuning in, okay? So group number one, this is what it's your messages from your higher self is telling you, that we have to open, trust, discover, see beyond, tear down the walls around our heart, do a lot of inner work, inner healing work. And that's interesting because I took the break, I guess we could say a hiatus, because everything was just so overwhelming. And people might say, well, that's not an excuse. But for me, I'm one of those people that when I get hit mentally with things, it just bogs me down, okay? And so after a while, it's just, you have to clear your mind. Like here, tune in, listen to your inner child, seeing beyond, tear down walls, which I'm still doing some inner work myself. That's why I'm saying group number one, I understand completely what this message is for you. It's going to help you, like I always say, motivate to push beyond the boundaries and see beyond the ordinary and open to discovery. See, this is what it's all about, group number one, that you got to go. We got to push further along, okay? All right, now we're going to follow up with some tarot from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. And let's see what they have to say. Group number one, the Everyday Witch Tarot deck has to say. Message from your higher self, Everyday Witch Tarot deck. Group number one, we have Eight of Wands. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and we have Page of Wands, and we have Knight of Wands. So you got a lot of wand energy. Group number one, Everyday Witch Tarot deck is telling you Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. Okay, we know wands are all about building. It's like the story of the Three Little Pigs when they had, I'll say the sticks. That just works for this right here. And you know, you had the house of sticks because they were building, okay? Sometimes you see the huts and they're made out of bamboo. If you ever watch those TV shows on the nature channels and they're building the houses out of sticks and straws and bamboo. And that's what they build. And you have a strong foundation because it's all about building when it's the wands. And if you look right here with the page and the wands, I'm sorry, the page and the Knight of Wands. Okay, if you look at the card right here from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck, it's like moving forward. Okay, you got that broom. You got I don't know if you ever might watch westerns, and you might have seen like the little kids when they run away, and they have the little handkerchief and had some their little belongings on there, and they're walking away or going toward a new destination. Okay, and they're going forward. And that's what I see with here, group number one. You want to go forward. That's like with the beyond the ordinary and building and discovering new things. All right, group number one, Knight of Wands. If you look right here, you're on a broom, like Harry Potter stuff going on, and you're fighting dragons. Okay, that's your inner work. You're fighting you know how you say you're fighting your inner, well, I won't use the word, but you find your inner chaos and confusion. Well, this is what it's saying right here when it's saying tear down the walls around your heart. This is how I see it, that it is a process and that it just can't be done overnight. It takes hard work and takes dedication, and it takes that you have to fight hard. And sometimes it's like you are fighting a dragon when you are trying to, group number one, to reevaluate, reconnect. There's so many different words that you can use, group number one, for yourself. And with that, it can cause that turbulence with that Eight of Wands. If you see right here, represented by the Everyday Witch Tarot deck, Then it can be confusing and feel like you're out of control, because that's what the inner work is all about. This is what Grit Number One message is telling you from your higher self, that yes, these are things you can do, and yes, it's going to get wonky, and it feels like sometimes you're in turbulence. It feels like you can be in a Texas tornado or Kansas, whatever tornado, and it just, everything is just running all over the place. But it's saying that right here with these Ace of Pentacles, Pentacles is all about, I look at redefining, and I cannot, for some reason, I'm just having brain freeze. And the Pentacles, but we know Pentacles is all about, gaining. Like I said, with Pentacles, it could be money, it can be knowledge, it can be whatever is this gain, okay? And right here, when you do all this inner work, this is that Ace of Pentacles saying that, hi, I'm going toward, and I'm going toward my higher gain. And you got that Pentacle holding up in the air. It's kind of like with Willy Wonka and that golden ticket. Because if you look behind that sunshine, okay, it's hitting and it's like, okay, I have a brighter day coming. Once I get through these Eight of Wands energy and I'm not looking back and I'm going to keep going, I'm going to look towards and aim high. Okay, Group Number One, that's what your higher self is telling you. And along with aim high, because we got to tear down these walls, we got to build, we got to keep going, we got to just not kid ourselves anymore. We must keep going, and just don't, to please other people, we can't, anymore just people please. We have to work on ourselves. You can't, it's like how you watch the TV, and I'm not gonna give the quote, but you can't love yourself. How you gonna love someone else if you can't love yourself? You probably know the show, but that's exactly what it's saying. You got to do the inner work on yourself, Group Number One, and then you can do everything else you need to do. All right, Group Number One, messages from your higher self. All right, we're gonna finish up with the Modern Witch Tarot deck and see what final message the Modern Witch Tarot deck for Group Number One, messages from your higher self, and then we'll close out this reading for Group Number One. All right, messages from your higher self, Group Number One. Okay, the Moon, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. Like I said, okay, the Moon with this here. We know the Moon is all about changes. When you have cycles and phases, full moon, quarter moon. There's just so many things with the Moon. Growing. You base farming on the Moon and all these planting and everything. And I see like right here with this here, if you look, this is some yuck with this card right here that's in the water. And I look at it as, okay, with the Moon here, I feel that, look, sometimes at night, I look at the Moon and I just love the moonlight. It's interesting because sometimes I'll be in my room and I'm like, wow, the Moon is so pretty because it's like so crisp and clean. And sometimes it's so quiet, especially during the winter time when it's just so quiet. You just look at the Moon. And again, you have stars. And I feel that you're a star, Group Number One. You can be a star seed, you can be, you're aiming high, whatever it is, and that you want to look forward. And this right here is just behind you, okay? And you're going to look higher into a new phase and cycle, Group Number One. The Page of Pentacles, like I said, Pentacles is all about, your manifestations, about whatever it is that you're gaining, knowledge, money, whatever it is, the Page of Pentacles. And again, holding it up in the hands. See? Because you're looking up, you're going forward. Gold, gold, gold. Queen of Cups. This is your last card from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. No, I'm sorry, the Modern Witch Tarot deck. You have the Queen of Cups. And with the Queen of Cups, we know cups is like, how you always say, my cup running over. Okay? With this right here, I feel, Group Number One, the message from your higher self. It's in that once I finally work on everything that I have to work on, I can have gained so many things. I have gained my pentacles, whatever they are. Like I said, wealth, health, whatever it is that your pentacles is for you. I feel that you'll be in that energy, the Queen of Cups, masculine, feminine energy, that you can say, I have done that inner work. I've worked on myself. I gave energy to myself. I'm working hard, okay? because you listened to yourself. And what else did you do? You listened to your inner child, and you tore down those obstacles and those walls around your heart, because it can be an interesting concept of people can break your heart. People can do so many things to you that you're like, you know what? I'm done with it. But group number 1, messages from your higher self to understand that in the end you have that Queen of Cups energy where you feel fulfilled. Cups, a full cup. Okay, when a queen sits on her throne, masculine, feminine energy, what? She is in charge. Okay? Like how you had the Queen Elizabeth and all these in charge of what was going on. And that's a great feeling that, you know what, I can pour, because I'm so much of my pentacles and I have poured and I worked hard. That I'm in that Queen of Cups energy and I'm happy about it. See how the face looks? It's kind of like that look of I can relax. That look of I've done work. And I'm comfortable with it. I can relax by the seashore. Because when you go to the ocean or when you go to the beach or whatever you go and you relax, because you listen to the sound waves, okay? So it's all about relaxation. If you look at these cards right here, the people, their faces are peaceful. Like I said. And that's what you want to have in that peace. Going back to the first card, listen to the eternal song of your soul, group number 1. I know I said I have the tombstone like I said before, but that's peace. And then that's the good thing about it, that at the end, once you have done all that work, you have that inner peace, calm, and relaxation, group number 1. And that's what is the great thing about it. You don't want to live a life of stress. Trust me, it's not good at all, group number 1. So, wow, that was interesting, group number 1, for messages from your higher self. It's just telling you, look, you got to work on yourself through all these things. It's going to take a while, and it's going to feel turbulent. But in the end, it'll be worth it. Pentacles, Queen of Cups, everything that you can think of, and just work hard, group number 1. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I enjoyed delivering it to you. I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you gain some knowledge, some understanding. If there's anything in this reading that you did not agree with, take and give it back to universe, and whatever else, take with you. But again, with that being said, I love you, and I'll see you another day. Bye. Group number 2. We are getting messages from your higher self. Group number 1 was very, very impactful. So let's dig in, group number 2, and let's see what messages from your higher self we have for you. We're going to start with the Soul Helper Oracle deck. We're going to see what messages we have for your higher self, group number 2. Let's see what the messages are. Dive in. Let's see. Whoa. Okay. We have lost in the ruins of the past. Find the way. Find the present moment and live. Okay. I'm gonna get 2 more cards. Group number 1 had 3 cards, so I'm like, all's fair. Oh, this card literally flew at me. Wow. Okay. Awaken the magic of your creativity. Immerse yourself in the world of feelings. Okay. Feel the power and blood of your ancestors. All right. So your group number 2, apparently your higher self has got some strong energy because cards are flying at me. So let's get into the message, group number 2. Messages from your higher self. Lost in the ruins of the past. Find the way to the present moment and live. Okay, group number 2. What this is saying is sometimes, okay, I do it too. Some of my happy days were in the past. And I mean, like, you know, I've had some good times, and sometimes I think about and reminisce. And there's nothing wrong, group number 2, messages from your higher self, with reminiscing. But it's saying, don't stick in that. You know how some people say, oh, that was my decade. This and that was my decade. And I did so good during this time. And it's one of the things like, that was my best time when I was in high school, or when I was this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's what it's saying. Messages from the higher self, group number 2. If you're lost in the ruins of the past, It's telling you, find the way to present moment and live. It's saying that you it's fine to reminisce, but get out of that because you have to live in the now. Okay, and hey, that goes for me too. A lot of images entwine with me too as well. Live in the now. And sometimes with me, my problem is I think about what's going on ahead of time. Like what's going on 2 weeks from now, a month from now. And it's not good to think that. I mean, you can have your goals and aspirations. Yes, group number 2. But it's saying, I think so far ahead. And with group number 2, it's saying live in the present. We're all supposed to live in the present, live in the now. What's going on right now? Because if you don't, it's like life will pass you by. And it's true. And I'm sorry, group number 2. I'm fighting the mint, and it's getting on my nerves. But group number 2, that's what it's saying, is that we have to live in the now. We can't keep living in the past, and we don't want to overthink the future. Okay, group number 2, messages from your higher self. Next message says, awaken the magic of creativity. Immerse yourself in the world of feeling. Okay, creativity. So group number 2, you probably have a group of creators. That means that you probably have thoughts running through your mind, like I said with the past, your mind. And it's saying, open the world, immerse yourself in the world of feelings. Okay, so what this is saying, telling me, group number 2, is that, you got a lot of thoughts going through your head and things like that. And it could be that, you're thinking of the past, of this, and I used to do this back then, and I could do this a long time ago. And what it's saying is you can still do all these things. It's not too late to do these things, okay? Sometimes I wear myself, am I to a certain age that I can't do things? And I get reminded, no, it's fine. You just keep going. Okay, so that's why I'm saying awaken the magic of your creativity and immerse yourself in the world of feelings, okay? Just open your mind. And that's why it says feel the power and the blood of your, feel the power of your blood and your ancestors. You are not alone. And that's a wonderful thing to know, that you're not alone. And that goes for if your ancestors are around you, your soul, your higher self, everything is telling you you're not alone. You're being guided, you're protected, okay? And then it's saying, don't worry, and that you don't have to be in the past anymore, because everyone is around you now, in the now, okay? You are good to go in the now, group number 2, messages from your higher self. It's saying that just get out of the past, live for what's going on now. You're not alone, and just feel that power and that blood of your ancestors around you, because you're being protected. And some of you might feel that you are alone, and that's why you live in the past, because like the past was your best. No, the best is yet to come, so just keep going. All right, group number 2. Let's move to your oracle of your 7 energies. Messages from your higher self. Let's see what the oracle of the 7 energies have to say. Group number 2, messages from your higher self. Oh, wow. Cards just flew. Hold on one second. Group number 2. I have to get my cards. They flew. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Hold on. Okay, group number 2. Like I said, it must be some strong energy, group number 2, because cards are flying. Making me have to do extra work, group number 2. All right. So let's see what the 7 energies have to say. Like I said, no reversals. Smoke and mirrors. Divine matrix. Healing the heart. And the uncharted sea. All right. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors is kind of like, if you ever watched the movie Chicago, the movie came out years and years ago, the musical, love that movie. And remember when he was doing, I can't remember the song, but it was like, basically it was smoke and mirrors, and he was saying, well, if you do this, Richard Gere, right? And he was doing that whole dance and thing about how to sway the news and have it all turned. That smoke and mirrors. That's when it's saying in the past, that when sometimes you're stuck in that past, it's that smoke and mirrors energy, because it's kind of like, oh, the past was so great and wonderful that I don't want to live in the present, okay? And that's what it's saying. You got to get out of that mindset of the smoke and mirrors of the past, because it's the past. You can't go back. That's like with Lion King and I can't remember, Gafiki hit Simba on the head with the stick, and he was like, ow, you know. And he was like, well, it happened in the past, so what does it matter now? You know, he was giving that pep talk. Smoke and mirrors. It's saying that it's the past of the smoke and mirrors, and it's saying that they live in the present. Divine Matrix, well, what can I say? The Matrix, the movie. I've seen it, and it's still one of those movies you're like, wow, okay. And I was thinking about, like, right here in Divine Matrix, we all know what the divine is, we all know what the Matrix is. It's kind of like we have to, the Matrix is that world of this and that and the other possibilities. So I still do feel that it's telling you that the past is your past. It's fun to reminisce, but we have to get into the present. And with that divine matrix, it's saying that we are divinely protected. So let's live into the future or live into the present. And that's what that divine matrix is telling us. If you look right here, it looks like it's two mirrors. And so it's saying, get out of the smoke and mirrors. Let's move into the new era of our life. And we are divinely protected. Healing the heart. This is like with group number 1, group number 2, with the messages from the healing heart. It's saying, healing heart, we all have healing. So basically, we all have so far between group 1 and group 2 inner work to do. And that's healing heart. And hey, that's how anybody, everything that's going on, your heart feels heavy. Okay? And that might be why you're living in the past, because before with the present, it was like things were happier. Okay? But it's saying that we have to get into the current, live in the present, and do that healing work so that we can focus on the future. Okay, and like with group number 1, with the message from the healing heart, I mentioned this for group number 2. If you want to listen to group number 1, it was saying with the inner child work, that sometimes with the past, think about, you know, why is it that you want to live in the past so much? Okay, interestingly enough, you're like, wait, but if my childhood was in my past, isn't that what I want to do? It's complex to explain, but it's like two different, I'll use the word entities, but I think that might be the wrong word I'm using. But it's two different things. You know, you're working on your inner child versus thinking about your childhood. You know, it's complex. Like I said, I don't give medical advice or anything, like I'm not a psychiatrist. But it's saying healing the heart is like healing the emotions and get out of the past of those things. And sometimes what you're living in the past is where I had my heart hurt. My heart hurt. And with that, group number 2, messages from your higher self, is just saying that, you know, you got to heal, okay? And that's for group 1 and group 2. So if you want to listen to group 1, you can. All right, uncharted sea. That's where it was saying that awaken the magic in your creativity, immerse yourself in the world of feelings, because that's the uncharted sea. You don't know how you're going to feel, but know that you have the ancestors around you, so you're not alone. Okay, you got friends, you just got a lot of, you got good friends and everything. And if you feel like it's being emotional, you're healing your heart and all the everything that's going on, that yeah, it can feel like group number 1, it can feel wonky. And like you're just on a boat and you're just getting seasick. But there no group number 2, messages from your higher self, that you are not alone, and that when you're out on this sea or you're feeling like a way, that you have someone that can give you that life preserver, that lifesaver, and like, hey, I'm here for you, group number 2. So group number 2 is saying, look, you gotta get out of that past of like, hey, this is my decade, and bring yourself into the now. Is basically what it's saying. Okay, group number 2. All right, now let's go with the Everyday Witch Tarot deck, and let's see what they have to say with messages from your higher self from group number 2. Everyday Witch Tarot deck. So group number 2 is saying, if you're stuck in that, this was my decade mindset, come out of that, okay? Because we've got work to do in the present. All right, get out of that smoke and mirrors energy. It's gone. And I know it may sound harsh what I'm saying, but it's, you know, you got so much more you have to do, group number 2, that we need the positive energy that's going on right now. All right, group number 2. Now, this is from the Everyday Witch tarot deck, we have the Empress. Okay. We have Ace of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands popped up in, ironically, in group number 1. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get 2 more. Yay. Okay, great. Group number 2. Okay. Messages from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. We have the Empress energy. That is saying right here that I feel with awaken the magic and your creativity and immerse yourself in the world of feelings. This is what I'm saying right here. If you look at this card, she is full, she is pregnant with, and I look at when sometimes you're emotional, and I'm not being like, you know what I'm saying, that you feel that pride that you're carrying, that the Empress includes. But this card right here, she is pregnant, as you can see, and I feel with that is full of emotions, and that's because that you are awakening the magic and your creativity. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles, like how I stressed in group number 1, because this card popped out in group number 1, is that you're looking forward. Okay, you're seeing that, okay, there is that bright beginning and you're looking forward to it. 8 of Wands, and with that work of coming out of the past, opening up and feeling that there, like group number 1, that there can be that chaos and confusion, that twister of emotions, but knowing that if you look right here, that you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is turning in your favor. That means that the decision that you're making good decisions, and that things are finally looking up for you. And then you have the Sun. Again, she's pregnant right here. And that means giving birth to new things. Because you finally say, you know what? I'm getting out of the past. I'm going into the present. And I'm giving what? Awakening the magic of your creativity. So you're giving birth to new things, and to know that you are not alone. Hence the Sun, with the people right here celebrating. You're not alone. You've got ancestors. You probably got some good friends, so on and so forth. Group number 2, messages from your higher self. So it's like, don't panic. You're okay. So if, like I said, if you want to listen to group number 1, you can. There might be some messages in there that coincide with this one too, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Group number 2. All right, we're coming near the end of the reading. I'm going to pull from the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and we'll end the session with these tarot cards from the Modern Witch Tarot deck. Messages from your higher self, group number 2. All right, we have 3 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. We have 2 of Pentacles. There's too many cards. Sorry, group number 2. Alright. We'll take these 2 right here. The 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Alright. Group number 2, we're coming at the end of the reading. All right, with the Knight of Swords. I've always said with the Swords energy, to me, the way I interpret it, okay, Knights come in and save the day. And when they have swords, they're coming in to fight with battle. This is how I feel with you, group number 2, is that with you coming out of the shadows of the past and awakening your magic, okay, you're going to come into out of the smoke and mirrors and everything, and you're going to fight. And you're going to fight hard. Because you're coming in. See how that wind is whipping? With that, that's going to bring that balance back into your life between the present, the past, and the present, and bring you some great balance. Okay, group number 2. The 8 of Pentacles. Now, with the 8 of Pentacles, they say, okay, this is all about like apprenticeship. But what I'm seeing right here is that you got to have patience, and you got to learn, and we got to grow. And that's what all this is about. Because you're coming from the past, you live now this, you're opening up your creative side. Okay? So you got to work hard for it. Because your 3 of Cups is all about that celebration. And like I said right here with the Sun, if you look, you got 3 people here. So you're surrounded. And that coincides with what I said right here. Feel the power of your ancestors, of your blood and your ancestors. You are not alone. So this right here, group number 3, is reiterating. You're not alone. Okay, that you're surrounded by good people, you're surrounded by ancestors, and so on and so forth. So with the work that you're doing, Getting out of that, oh, this is my decade energy, and moving into now what's going on currently. Okay? You will have that celebratory moment because you won't be alone. That's why I said the Wheel of Fortune, because things will start going and moving in momentum the way you want to. And that's the great thing about that inner work and getting out from the past. And I'm not just saying it to say it, but it's true. That sometimes, yeah, living in the past can be fun. But being in the now is what we need to concentrate on and see what's going on with the now. And don't think too hard about the future in regards that it will make you tired and weary. You can have goals, that's great. Group number 2. But just, in other words, we can't let life bog us down and stress us out so much that we can't enjoy it. And you want to enjoy life. You don't want to be able to pass you by and you just had angst and worry the entire time. Because you want to celebrate. Celebrate. That's what you want to do in the long run. All right, group number 2. Okay, I hope you enjoyed your reading as much as I enjoyed delivering it to you. I hope it gave you some clarity, something that you can take away from this message. If all the message did not resonate with you, take with you what does, and take the rest back with universe. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this message as much as I enjoyed delivering it to you. And I will see y'all another day. Love you. Bye. All right, group number 3. We have come to the end of our reading. And the question we're having is messages from your higher self. Okay. We're going to start with the Soul Helper Oracle deck, the higher self. Put you right here. And we're going to see what messages there is from your higher self. All right. We're going to start with 3 cards. Excuse me if I start sneezing. I think I have to sneeze. Okay. Group number 3. We have the time of guilt and shame ends now. We have the lotus within you awakes. All right. Let's need one more. There we go. And we have courage. Wow. Okay, group number 3. I think it's going to be an interesting and fantastic way to end this reading. Group number 3, message from your higher self. The time of guilt and shame ends now. Forgive yourself and begin to love yourself just as you are. That's coming strong right off the bat. Message from your higher self. Group number 3. The lotus within you awakes. You are a master in light on high. Okay? And last card. Have courage. Awaken the warrior of light within you. All right. Group number 3. Messages from your higher self is telling you, cut out that minutia of that guilt and shame. Okay. And I know you may say, hey, this, that, and trust me. I know I've been through a lot of stuff and it is the hardest thing to do. But it is telling you from your higher self, it needs to end now. That means you need to get that out and cut it out. If you have to see someone, if you got whatever you have to do, because I know times are hard and you can't afford everything that, you know, of what you need to do. However you have to do it. And that was some advice from another reader. You know, whatever you have to do, if you have to meditate, however it is. But the time of guilt and shame ends now. Forgive yourself and begin to love yourself just as you are. Love yourself just as you are is an interesting concept. Because sometimes you're like, but do I like myself? Do I love myself? How am I myself? And the thoughts run through your mind. Well, who am I? Where am I in life? You know the things that you love to do. And that everyone might not understand why you are. And sometimes in life, you may have catered yourself to be someone, like to be for someone else. Okay? And it's saying the time of guilt and shame ends now. It's saying forgive yourself and begin to love yourself just as you are. It's saying you are who you are. You were divinely created to be the way that you are. And so you don't have to feel bad about how or who or whatever it is, you being you. Okay? If you're a gamer, be a gamer. If you whatever it is that you love to do, you love yourself just as you are. Okay. The reason why I say gamer, I don't know, this popped in my head, but if you love comics, whatever, if you love comic books, if you're a gamer, if you're whatever it is, the time of guilt and shame ends now. Forgive yourself and begin to love yourself just as you are. That's what you need to do. If there's been things that you've been holding over your own head, okay, cut it out. It's not gaining anything for you to keep worrying about it anymore. It's already, and that's like with the other two groups of messages. It's all about ending the old cycles. So group number 3, if you want to watch group number 2 and group number 1, you can watch all 3 groups, whatever, however you want to do it. But I feel that universe is saying with all the groups and everything today is overall forgiveness, overall letting the past go. Okay, group number 3, how messages from your higher self. The lotus within you awakens. You are a master in light on high. You are the captain of your fate and the master of your soul. You are in control of what you do. The lotus flower within you awakes. That's kind of like that phoenix rising, okay? And that's saying that you control you. You don't let anyone control you. You control yourself, which is why I said that time of guilt and shame ends now. Forgive yourself and love yourself, because you are in charge of you. No one else is in charge of you. You look after yourself. You control yourself. Okay? That's why it says have courage. Awaken the warrior of light within you, because you're the master of light on high. You need to have courage. You see how this card is right here, that she, masculine feminine energy, is fighting through flames and fire, because you've been through a lot of things. Okay? And it's saying, when you're doing all this, just have courage, have faith, and just keep going. That's the great thing about it. Group number 3, messages from your higher self. That's what you do. Have the courage, have the faith, let things go. End that guilt and shame. All right, group number 3. Now we're going to go with, excuse me for sniffling, my allergies starting to flare up. We're going to now go with the oracles of the 7 energies. And let's see what they have to say with group number 3, messages from your higher self. All right. Let's see here. No reversals. You know what? Okay, we're going to take these right here. I feel these right here are very, 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 very important. We have spirit and gratitude. A merry motive. The oracle's gift. And I'm going to get one more. Oh, there we go. Ha-ha. There we go. Waken the line and a deep breath. I knew it was in there somewhere. All right, group number 3. Spirit of gratitude. What do we have here? Okay, we're getting ready to bring this together. The time of guilt and shame ends now. Waken the line, having that courage. Group number 3. Listen to me real good. That's the one thing, myself included. Spirit of gratitude. We must be thankful for the things that we have, for the things that we are getting, and for the things that we will get in the future. And sometimes things look bleak. Trust me, I know. Because I have to tell myself every day, group number 3, messages from your higher self, to have gratitude. And yeah, it can be difficult, because sometimes you're getting that woe is me, myself mentality. Just because I read tarot doesn't always mean that I have a great sunny disposition. No, I have things too. And this is saying, have that spirit of gratitude. We've got to, because when we're in that guilt and shame, we have to look at the bright side. You see how this purple? Purple means royalty. That means we think high of ourselves. In that spirit of gratitude, we're thankful. Okay, group number 3, messages from higher self. A merry motive. Again, merriment, happiness. We have to, when we are saying right here with that lotus, within you waits your master of light on high. What is this light? That merriness. When you think about the season, the holidays, and you have lights and you have that awakening and you're feeling great. Okay? Merry motive. M-E-R-R-Y. Merry. Merriment. Because you're enjoying. That lotus grows, awakens within you. You're the master of light on high. Clothespins. See light. The stars right here. See group number 3? Light. On a clothesline, hanging up high. The oracle's gift. Because you are getting out of that guilt and shame. That spirit of gratitude. Look how you got 2 teacups. Right here. I believe these are teacups. Now, it could be your mind, but I feel like I see teacups. I see that it's blooming, okay? Group number 3, messages from higher self. When you, oracle's gift, is saying, I am opening, the lotus within you awakens. You're a master of light on high. Spirit universe is giving you the gift of, hey, you letting go of this? We're going to give you a brighter day. You just keep focusing forward and keep working. A deep breath. Because sometimes you just got to have a deep cleansing breath. Look here with these flowers again. Blooming. Growing. That's what life is all about. We got to grow. We got to keep going. See that peaceful look? Peace. Inner work. That's what we're doing. Waking the line. Courage. Remember the story of the Wizard of Oz? Have courage. Waking the line. You see how these 2 things coincide? What did he need? Courage. Okay? And that's what it's all about. You need courage, group number 3. We all need courage. And it's saying, don't worry. We'll keep going. We keep progressing. Have faith. Fight. See these colors? Stars again, because you're rising above. Fire's the flame, because you're working hard. You're sweating. You're doing the work. Group number 3, messages from higher self. All right. Now we're coming from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. Let's see what they have to say. Group number 3, messages from your higher self. Let's see. Everyday Witch. Group number 3, messages from higher self. First card we have is the High Priestess. Yes. Oh. Queen of Pentacles. Yes. Ace of Pentacles. Yes. Nine of Swords. Yes. Let me explain what's going on. Nine of Swords, that energy of that guilt and shame ending. This is right here. That's reiterating what I said. We don't want this anymore. We're getting this out of here. I'm tell you why. Because High Priestess is all about gaining knowledge. You see? Looking toward the future. When you have a crystal ball, you're looking towards what's going on. You're gaining. We're not going to let the past end times get us down anymore. We're looking higher. Queen of Pentacles. You see? Throne. Because I'm working hard to get out of this past. That Pentacles all about gaining. Group number 3. Pentacles been coming out a lot. Ace of Pentacles. Again. Ace of Pentacles has come out, I believe, in every group for this reading today. Messages from your higher self. Pentacles, I think, have been in every group because of, and however you perceive your pentacles, knowledge, money, wealth, whatever, career. It's because when you get done with this guilt and shame and forgiving yourself and loving yourself, you'll be that queen, masculine, feminine energy on that throne, and you will be able to look up and say, hey, I had the courage and fought, and I feel good because I gained what I needed to gain. Group number 3, message from your higher self. And this is what it's all about. When you feel better about yourself, when you work hard about yourself, and I'm not just saying this to say this because I have to do this myself. When you get out of this energy, because I was in this energy right here. Heck fire. A lot of times I'm in this energy, and it's hard sometimes for me to get out of it. But time of guilt and shame ends now. Forgive yourself. We want to be here. We want to have this warrior energy and fight like a lion. Strength. Strength card. You want to be that lion. You want to be that person that when I go in, I'm just fierce and I'm fighting hard. Because you work for what you want. Your Queen of Pentacles energy. Grapes. Grapes, harvest, harvest. Apples, trees, growing. Strawberries, growing. Because you're gaining. Because you're letting this stuff go. Here. Like I said, yes, purple means, you know, royalty and things. And that's what you want to be, because you want to say, okay, I'm going to get out of the guilt and shame so that way I can be what? The Queen of Pentacles, because that's royal. All right. Group number 3, messages from your higher self. All right. I got one more from the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and we'll be in and out reading soon. We're going to see what the Modern Witch Tarot deck has to say. Group number 3, messages from your higher self. All right. And then we'll end this reading. All right, group number 3. Let's go. There's too many cards. I'll take that one. Right here. All right. 2 of Wands. That's you're looking forward, okay? Because you are building. You're going to get out of the guilt and shame, and you are going to awaken yourself, and you are going to build. See how this is right here? You're looking forward. All right? The Hierophant. High Priestess, knowledge. High Priestess, gaining. All this is the same to me with this reading right here. But the High Priestess, like I said, is with I say with High Priestess and with the Hierophant that they're both interchangeable, because the fact is all about gaining. But the High Priestess, spiritualism, so on and so forth. Hierophant, gaining knowledge. It's all about gaining. Gain. Queen of Wands. Okay. We had the 7 of Swords. When we had the 9 of Swords, this was the stress. 7 swords right here, you're taking 5 swords and leaving 2 swords behind. Okay, with the 7 of Swords, some people say, okay, but are you taking with it? So I'm sorry, I'm going to shake the camera. Group number 3. The 7 of Swords is, to me with this reading, you're taking up your swords and you're walking away. That time of guilt and shame is ending. And then you say, well, hey, how is it? Because you're taking them up, but it still plagues you. Okay? And that's with anything. When you're trying to do things and you're doing that inner work, yeah, it still hurts. Yeah, it still drives you crazy. It has you up at times, yes. But you're working hard for it because you got courage. You got strength of the lion. And that's why. The Queen of Wands. 2 of Wands, Queen of Wands. Sitting on the throne, masculine, feminine energy. All this throne energy. Okay? Queen of Wands, I said, is the building. When you get that Queen of Wands energy, you're sitting on your throne because you have did what? That guilt and shame you had in. because you let that lotus within you awaken, because the courage that you have of the lion to fight. Group number 3, messages from your higher self. Fight. Mentally fight. Keep going. Let it go. It's not serving you. And I know it's going to take a lot of it. Trust me. It takes work. I'm not perfect myself. Still got a long way to go with myself as well. So that's why I know. You know I know. We all have to fight. So we get that Queen of Wands energy. Look. See? Sunflowers. When you think of sunflowers, you think of growth and happiness. Okay? You see? 2 lines. Lines are right here. Courage again. Right here you have green growing off of a branch. Growth. Group number 3, messages from your higher self. So let this go. We'll get here. Again, here purple, royalty. You go from here to here. And then you have your head high. See what I'm saying? We're getting there. We've got our purple royalty robes and cloth and dresses and whatever it is. But we're going to have our head held up high, group number 3, messages from higher self. So let that guilt and shame go. And that way we can keep going. The courage, that line energy. Group number 3. Well, I'm going to end it here. Group number 3. Messages from your higher self. If the message didn't pertain to you, if there was something here that you didn't agree with, leave it to the universe and take what resonates with you. I hope this message helps you and gives you some kind of strength and motivation to keep going. And I enjoy delivering this message to you. I hope it helps. I hope it motivates. And to all of y'all, I will see y'all later. Love you. Bye.